Matthew starts off this hour in Indianapolis. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm 22 years old. I make about $80,000 a year before bonuses. I have $20,000 in cash, and then about $50,000 I have in ETFs and mutuals. I'm getting ready to buy my first house. Right now, I know the housing market is crazy. My main question is what my plan to do is take $25,000 out from my investment account, put that towards a down payment, do a 15-year mortgage on a $225,000 house. Is that a smart thing to do? I could take out more, but I still want to keep that emergency fund. But the area I'm in is projected about 10% increase in home values in the next year.
Dude, you're a stud. You're 22 and you're making 80?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm a systems engineer.
Good for you, man. You're killing it. And you're single.
Correct.
Are you dating someone seriously?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay. All right.
The other question I do have is I have a guaranteed at least $10,000 bonus next year, and then more than likely another additional 10 to 15 on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be slightly over 100,000 for next year and following years as well.
Phenomenal. Okay. So I would just adjust your plan slightly because I know from the data that we have, having studied 10,167 millionaires, that the typical millionaire has two primary components to their first $1 million to $5 million net worth. And you should be there by the time you're 30 with the trek you're on. Okay?
Awesome.
And if you want to get there the shortest way, here's what the data tells us. A paid-for house and loading up the 401k.
Correct. I do max out my 401k. Company
Good.
matches 5%. I put 5% in and then invest the rest into ETFs and mutuals.
Good. So what that tells me is the paid-for house is the next thing on the equation. Agreed?
Agreed.
Which means I'm keeping only the emergency fund. I'm dumping the entire ETF onto this thing as my down payment to thereby have less debt to reduce. And then I'm going to throw bonuses and money I would have been throwing in the ETFs above the fully funded 401k at this mortgage. Dude, your house is paid for by the time you're 25, 26 years old.
Got it.
And you're rolling into a house at that point that's probably worth $500. And, and let's just go ahead and run the math out on your 401k to, for 8 years. And I think you're a millionaire.
Got it.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm doing this in my head pretty quick, but I think I'm pretty close. But, and here's the thing. The other thing that's going to happen is, you statistically are very likely, during this 8-year period of time to meet and marry the love of your life, at which point you will discover you have bought the wrong house.
Right.
New plan, new house.
And so that will adjust our little plan, upset the apple cart, but that's okay. It's worth the cost, brother. You're still going to get there because you got a plan. But here's the thing. The two data points are full 401k paid for house. And if you're always aiming back at those at the earliest possible age, you're going to build the greatest possible amount of wealth.
Awesome.
That's for your first $5 million worth of wealth. And that's what we call them everyday millionaires or baby step millionaires because they followed the baby steps. And I've met 3 out here in the lobby today that followed the baby steps over the last decade to 15 years and been listening to this show. One guy said he'd been listening to the show 20 years.
Yeah.
And he started doing this stuff. And he just, got out of debt, which gave him the ability to invest and pay off his home.